Where are you from?
We are from Switzerland.
Barry, you know what? We're going to focus on business right now.
Switzerland. I love Switzerland. It is one of my favorite countries. I love your army knives with the toothpicks and your cheese. Does the cheese come out of the cow with the holes? Our countries are not enemies. They are friends. We are friends.
You have been to Switzerland?
No, but I have a friend who drives a Volvo. And I speak a little of your language. Heard if he said there, tired of heard if heard of you.
More so than any other place I've been in the world, food does define who you are in Hawaii.
If I jump in my canoe and I paddle for an hour, I can turn around and I can see it. I can see a limited resource.
A number of civilizations have developed their best ag land, and we can point to different examples back in history where civilizations have failed. Over the last 50 years, over 50% of our prime A and prime B land has been developed. We're clearly in a crisis.
If we're cut off from the mainland, our food supply, we're in big trouble. We're in big, big trouble if for an extended period of time, we will not be able to feed our people.
By one government estimate, 92% of the food now consumed in Hawaii comes from offshore, which seems odd since we have some of the most productive farmlands in the world. The demise of agriculture here has been accompanied by the notion that farming is solely the work of first-generation immigrants and that the best and highest use of land is development. However, there is another conversation taking place every day among individuals who are taking back their food traditions in the face of enormous change.
We're on school grounds, 100 feet from the classrooms, and this is our school food farm. I call it a farm because we're really growing food to eat. Students are involved in all aspects of the farming here, so they start with choosing the plants to grow, they design gardens, they're seeding, weeding, watering, setting up irrigation systems, mulching, and harvesting, of course, and cooking the foods that they grow. I think it's exciting because it's one way that they not only feel connected to what they're doing by growing foods, but I think on their own, without someone telling them, they get that fresh foods taste better. That same story gets repeated every single year. A new set of kids come in and we do the same thing. They say, I'm not gonna eat eggplant. What's kale? They don't even know what kale is. Within 2 months, they're begging me to make kale smoothies or let them make kale smoothies.
First time when you plant and you see the seedlings sprout, it's a simple thing, but it's pretty amazing. And for me, I mean, it is life-changing. It's a shift in the way I look at food and eating and feeding my family. With the garden, I feel very comfortable now just sort of taking what we have from the garden and putting something together, which I love. I know where these vegetables came from. I know they weren't sprayed. The idea that you know exactly where your food's coming from because you grew it.
Answers to how we're going to survive is in the culture. It's in us.
We challenged ourselves and we said, oh, let's grow it organically. Let's just try, You start with one patch at a time. Stop spraying one patch. Stop giving the chemical fertilizer one patch at a time.
This is the time to do what I'm doing, and what a lot of the other farmers are doing is just going for value-added products.
People are just going to have to call them. So you know what? I want local. And just over and over, I want local, and people probably don't realize how powerful their voices are.
I love the fact that we rarely go to the supermarket, that my kids' experience of how you get food is either from your garden or from the farmer's market or from picking up your CSA box where it's coming straight from the farm.
People go nuts about our stuff, that we think is oh, it's just salad. They go crazy about it. Because it's fresh and it's the best, there's no pesticides, no herbicides, and it's local.
The important thing for me is that people take interest in where their food comes from. And I think when you start taking interest in where your food comes from, you start building those relationships with farmers, with chefs, with neighbors that grow food, and it's a very enriching experience.